and welcome to session number 78. It's been about 3 months since we last journeyed into the forest, and this session we shall find out what they're going to do about this time trip that they were doing. So the players we have tonight are Jeremy.
Yes, good evening all. I'm playing Dimitrios, the well-loved Trellen, who's now well-travelled and found lots of places that he really doesn't want to go to again. But he may have to just get back to the Hollow World because they understand how much of a god that he actually is.
No, thank you.
I'm sure once he picks up the sword that showed up in Tuesday night's game, he'll feel that much more godlike.
He doesn't need a sword to feel godlike.
No, thank you to all of the above.
I mean, let's face it, Dimitri's the type of person that could use both swords quite happily at the same time.
I'm sure there'll be no exploding in the middle.
He's got the power to actually contain both swords.
So what I'm hearing here is Dimitri's taken warlock levels without telling anyone. Next up,
He's taken Helav levels.
Next up, we have Martin.
Yes. I think I'm playing Trellen the Elven Monk, who's following the path of the Kenzai. And he's got a few magic weapons and a magic cloak. So he's doing alright as far as magic items go. So I'm quite happy. Carry on.
Could be a lot worse. And it is your time jump that they're currently trying to do.
Yes.
Also online today we have David.
Let me just dust off the cobwebs. Hello, I'm David. I play Armin Goranov, the epically famous horse warrior, greatest known horse warrior in the lands, who never, ever, ever gets to fight on horseback.
I'm sure he will get to fight on horseback at least once.
Yeah, probably the day he dies, and it'll be a glorious death.
He did go on horseback a couple of times in the Hollow World.
Yes,
Mammoth, eh?
yes, he did, but not his horse. You know, his amazing horse with barbarian levels. That is complete badass. You guys know the horse I'm talking about? No, you wouldn't because you've never met him. I mean, yeah.
And I think Martin slightly misquoted there. He said, I'm sure you're going to fight horseback at some point. What he meant was, I'm sure you're going to fight a horse at some point.
Yeah, no, I'm going to fight the horse's back as it kicks me in the head and I immediately get one-shotted by this epic horse.
Yep.
This horse with barbarian levels, apparently.
Well, which is ironic because as soon as I die, it loses its barbarian levels.
Could be worse. Regime could be mounting you instead of you mounting it.
I was about to say, are we sure that...
Yeah, I knew this was going to take a turn.
Are we sure Plumman's got barbarian levels, or is it just a direct relevance of Regime having barbarian levels?
Yeah, so hi, I'm David. I play Regem, the horse barbarian, with it's Trusty Rider, who has some levels of barbarian, half mine to be precise.
That sounds about right.
Well, that's why we have the image of Plumman as the rider and the horse, not separate.
You know I would play a horse character, right?
And also online tonight we have Mark.
I'm playing Bradshaw Dugan. I'm a dwarf weapon master who rides his goat off a plane and he finds out it's his brother later on. So I don't know if the reference to Rowan his brother is a good one or not, but yeah, it's So I'm the stable member of the party.
Well, you have had the goat reprimand you on more than one occasion.
Yes, this is where
Mark, did you just say the stable member? No, that would be Rujan, because he literally lives in a stable.
And always stays there because he never needs to be ridden.
That's true. Okay, that's a good point. I mean, but yes.
And now they have all these teleport options, so they don't need to ride anywhere. Isn't that fantastic?
That's correct. And plus, I've never had to, same as David's character, I've never had to fight on Bruce at the same time either, but I don't expect to. So
I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Bruce fighting or farting. I mean, both. It's the same thing, right?
The farting issue's been resolved through many years, okay? So, also husband of a master assassin halfling, so.
Who may or may not be planning the systematic destruction of your people.
That's something we can work out later. I'm sure we can talk it over with our veteran board.
Okay, so I was going to suggest someone who remembers update the others on what happened, and I'll come back and clean that up. I just have to grab something for Ariadna. So see if you can remember what happened last session, and I'll pipe in when I get back.
Yeah, oh, Jeremy, you know we're looking at you.
There was a unicorn and a beholder.
Yeah, I had to kind of look through. I thought I had some notes around somewhere, but I can't actually find them now. And I wouldn't be able to read them if I can't find them. So, but
there was a acorn, a carrot, and a beholder. But I'm not sure what the carrot was for.
So we'd gone to Elfheim because our elf had the his quest was to protect the unicorn from the beholder, and then we got to Elfheim and discovered that, well, yes, there were monstrous creatures coming out, and that might be literally a beholder attacking unicorns in the area up towards the north of the capital. Also, the potentially possible that it might be a political rivalry type bits and pieces, but we're working on the assumption that it might be a real thing first of all. So while we're sitting in the Night River Inn, waiting for our elves to go and do some checking of the city itself, those who weren't elves, we got to catch up with a wandering elven champion whose name I can't find my notes, but something like Golden Leaf or something or other, representing one of the 9 clans, or how many clans there were of elves.
Way too many clans, I'm sure.
Yeah, again, I've lost those notes, so I don't know. But yes, he agreed to come with us to take us up to the location where the monsters have been spawning out of a portal, Deadlands or something or other in Elfheim, that happened to be near where unicorns also lived.
I believe it was it Alien Tree Life?
That's the one, yeah.
Because I didn't think it was Brightsword. Yeah, because this guy has plate mail armor.
Yeah. Yes, he was one of the champions of the elves, like a champion of his particular clan.
A representative of the Gun Elf clan, which comes in handy because you'll need their help to get to where you're going.
Yes, and he also gave a little rundown on the other clans around in Elfheim and who were the ones that we're talking to and not, which, as I say, would be most useful if I still had the information available, but apparently it's gone.
So you're in the Cannelbath Forest, otherwise known as the Kingdom of Alfheim. You took a portal to Alfheim town, staying at the Rivets Inn on the outskirts of the city. And you were drinking there, waiting for Trellen to come back after having word with the Tree Keepers. So, what Martin missed out on for not being there for the last session we did is that you were in consultation with the Tree Keepers of Alfheim, where they were asking you, did you have a clan you wished to join as part of your attachment to Alphine.
So that was at the end of autumn or mid-May when I was in the hospital.
It was. That was why we also put it on hold, to give you a chance to come back and actually participate in your storyline.
Thank you.
So you were given a chance to say who you would like to join as a clan as your sponsor to allow you to wander through Alphine. Otherwise, you'd be considered an outsider still, as a clanless elf is generally not allowed to wander the forest.
So can I say the rest of the party?
You can take the rest of the party with you, but that they can be under your care, but most of the other elves will not take strangers under their care into the forest.
So whilst you're an elf because you didn't grow up an elf, you haven't got a clan yet, so therefore you're technically, even as an elf, you haven't got the right to wander through Elfheim. So
okay.
Again, I say they're giving you an option of, hey, you can join whichever clan you want.
And how would I do that?
Unless
You just have to swear fealty to one of the clans.
Alright, what are the options?
Well, now that you have options, let me see if I can get my mouse to show me where it is. There it is. We'll go to...
I can't find my notes.
Okay. So there are quite a few different clans available to you. If you want to be associated with Galantry, you have the Alhambra and the Irwin clans. If you want to be associated with Karameikos, you have the Kalari clans. If you want to be associated with Thyatis, you have the Vialia clans. If you want to be associated with Wendar, you have the Bishtar, the Trihar, the Wendar, and the Vahadar clans. Minrothad has the Meditor and the Verdia clans. And Alphatia has the Shire clans, though Alphime itself has the Chossum, Arundel, Theodil, Grundalf, Longrunner, Meadil, and Red Arrow clans.
Which one was the one that was closest to 5 Shires?
The one that's closest to 5 Shires would probably be the Kalari Elves in Karameikos, because you don't have to cross a mountain range to get to them.
Okay, I'll swear fealty to them.
That's right. Dimitri can tell you all about that.
So now you have something more in common with Dimitri.
Well, ups and downs.
Well, I refrain to comment on that one any further than it should be. So.
Well, the dwarf could always swear to the Dwarven clan in Karameikos as well, and be closer to his wife's family.
Yeah, no. Well, that's no.
I'm sure there's nothing wrong with living with gnomes that don't exist.
Okay, I'm just gonna let it go, man. I'm just gonna let it slide that way. So.
Okay, so yes, by joining the clan, you have been given leave to travel through the forests.
Okay.
But you do know that they don't have the Kalari don't have a home in this forest, but they are welcome.
Alright. Well, I'm happy to swear fealty to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so with that underway, you end up spending a day amongst the elves as they congratulate you on your fine choice.
So, the bit that we left my session, the one that I played, we saw a unicorn being chased by a beholder. What was the resolution to that story?
That was where you're still in.
That was a vision of a unicorn being chased by a beholder that we were trying to protect you, that you were trying to stop.
Yes.
Because remember, the whole aspect here is that we're all flipping through a period of the timeline, trying to stop multiple events, which will all lead to catastrophic results.
Okay.
But yes, we weren't entirely certain whether your vision of a unicorn being chased by a beholder was literal or whether it was metaphorical. Or both.
And do you have any idea?
Well, there's been enough indication from what we've heard about what's happening in Elfheim that it could be a literal interpretation. It could be a literal event, because there was actually stuff happening. But we won't really know until we actually get up into the area where it's happening.
So what the others found out while you were in conversation with the elves about choosing a guiding elder, which is basically what the clans are, that the regions with the red crossbones in the forest, such as Thornbush, are places where aberrations appear in this world. They are basically...
Do we want to go there?
Well, that's where we're heading in that direction, because I think also, was it Dewdrop or Ainsun?
You were heading to Ainsun to get permission to go to Dewdrop, because the tree keeper at Ainsun is the one who controls who can go to Dewdrop.
Yeah, but Dewdrop is where the unicorns were potentially located, wasn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And to help you feel better about where you're heading, you're basically crossing the River of Monsters to get there. And the Sumpen Weir section, which is a spiral of blue in the green, which is where the River of Monsters empties out to, is also the biggest place of terrors of the forest to be found.
It should be right.
And you're about to travel the forest with a elf guardian by the name of Alien Tree Life.
He's also honoured by the dwarves too, remember?
He is.
Mm-hmm.
His armour is actually of dwarven make.
And I'm still impressed by it. I'm still shocked by it all, but I'm still impressed.
And certainly one thing, Martin, the advantage of you taking Kalari elves as your clan, it means, well, we can probably go through all of Elfheim without necessarily upsetting any clan specifically.
Yes, agreed.
And you're also not required to pay homage to your new parents, roughly, because that's
a long way away.
Yeah. Though you are the equivalent of a ambassador of the Kalari now.
Okay.
So Dimitri will fill you in on what they're like, who they are, what they're taking.
And the Kalari elves actually follow the Duke of Karameikos and work for him. Much, I'm sure, to Dimitri's dislike.
Unfortunate, but that's it. It's important to know one's enemies.
It is, especially if you want to take his crown.
That's right, but it's like, they're not to say that he treats the Kalari elves as enemies. They're just merely misguided.
Okay, so before you get ready to head off, Alion recommends that you leave any mounts or horses behind in the stables. Giving a wink to Plowman at that point there before he stops and laughs.
Can you do me a favour and just pause the recording, please?
And right after he pauses for a moment, he goes, no, that's fine. You can take him with you. I just wanted to see what the Ethengarian would say.
Yeah, look, there's a lot. I would like to just let you know that I just removed one rage point for this day.
He does recommend that you tie your horses, tether your horses to each other in case they fall off the trees.
Horses, but not all of us are horses.
He looks at the dwarf and goes, well, that's unfortunate for you.
I have a brother. He's a goat.
Well, mount your brother then, he says.
I just looked at Bruce. What kind of reaction do we get from Bruce?
Bruce stares back at you. He's doing a staring contest.
Oh, so you want me to mount you? I really smile on my face when I look at him.
He starts charging you.
I don't know.
I'm sure he's just running towards you so you can mount more easily.
Reflex save, dude, man. Is that right?
Okay, so apparently Bruce was not particularly good at trying to jump on top of you and barrels into a wall.
Typical brother, I just say out loud.
And then you hear this sound of flatulence as the room starts to turn green.
Okay. That's a definite second on typical brother. I do
Go,
apologise.
little boatman! Smash him in the corners!
Anyone got a cork?
As you say that, you notice you're the only one in the room.
Well, I've got a resistance to this now. Dave drops off, you die. So, okay. It's okay, Bruce. I won't mount you. I'm just stirring you up. Off we go. Come on. So, and they'll leave the room with the mist. I think so.
Yes, with a tear in your eye, you leave the room. Though I'm sure it's just the gas effect of your donkey, mule, goat.
Goat. Doesn't like to be called mule. Just like goat's okay. He lives with a goat. He does have feelings, Martin. Even though he's my brother that I don't like, but he still has feelings. Okay, I'll walk aside. Since I can't ride my goat, I'm going to just, hand hold it and walk beside it. So, anyway.
Okay, so Arlian leads you into the forest.
Mm-hmm. I had a dwarf song to do, but the last time I used a dwarf song, I got in trouble, so I'm not going to use any more dwarf songs.
Dimitri will be aiming to, while as part of the discussion, the preparation, and things like that, he'll be interested to know exactly what path we're expecting to take. So we're actually going to be travelling up in the trees rather than on the ground. Confirmed?
He says, yes, we have a highway up above the branches.
Yep. And are we going to be generally following the River of Monsters, or is it a cross-forest pathway, or...?
Well, we crossed the river a couple of times, but it is the safest way to get to where we're going.
Yeah, so we're staying. We're approximately following the river.
He nods, saying that normally this road is closed off to outsiders, but now that you have a new recruit amongst you, I'm sure things will be fine. And occasionally...
How risky is it? I mean, I'm quite dexterous, but...
He says no elf has died recently.
Okay.
How wide is this path here? Can I see it before we get onto it? Or
You can't.
Okay.
Okay, I suspect that if they do have horses going along it, it's not a particularly narrow path. It might be narrow for horses, but it's not going to be tightrope walking the whole way.
So you see Alien's horse, which is probably about 8 to 9 feet tall, and quite broad. It looks like a very lithe Clydesdale.
Okay. So I don't feel as bad as Bruce getting up on this.
And do we have Drackle with us at the moment?
You do.
And Drackle's got his horse and cart.
He does have his horse and cart.
Yep. So again, I'm thinking if the horse and cart can go along this path, this highway, we're probably okay.
Okay.
Just don't look down.
Okay, so he leads you into down the main highway, heading back out of Alphatian, before he takes you off to the side, and you find yourself heading into what it just appears to be a knot in a tree, until you realize it's a spiral inside the tree taking you upwards. And you constantly hear the clack, clack, clack of Dressel's cart on the stairwell going up.
Okay.
So it's actually stairs, or is it a spiraling ramp?
It's a spiraling ramp cut
Yeah.
into small steps.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I was thinking, well, yeah, stairs might be a challenge for horses. Not horse, obviously, but for generic horses.
Horses can do stairs fairly well,
Yeah.
as long as they're not too high.
And okay, yeah, not too narrow, not too high, and realistically, not too many of them at once.
And as these each one is fairly flat, they can stop quite easily.
Yeah, okay.
It's been designed with mounts in mind.
Yeah.
With many levels for them to come off and stop. So you find yourself spiraling around for more than an hour as you rise up. And then you realize you're way above the forest floor when you come out. You can't even see the floor of the forest from here. But you can see the sky. First time you've seen the sky in Alphatian since you've been here.
Mm.
You
Well,
estimate.
in some ways, that makes me more nervous because that means that the limbs are probably a bit thinner.
You feel as if you're about maybe 1 to 1,500 feet up off the forest floor.
Tree was tall tree.
These tall trees, yes.
And looking at the tree goes up another 1,000 feet at least.
Right.
Wow.
And this appears to be a fairly, like I said, we were talking the tree, so the average tree line is about the 2,000 feet type stuff.
You think the most of them are between 1 to 5,000 feet tall,
Right.
with each city being the tallest group of trees.
Yeah.
Some of these trees are probably about at least 500 feet in width.
Yep. It's an old, well-tended forest.
Which is only about 1,000 years old.
I'm just enjoying the moment. Never seen something like this before as a dwarf, so I'm gonna enjoy it. So.
And as Bradshaw looks down, he realizes he's standing on wood. There's not a sign of any form of construction anywhere around him. Not even the pathway he came up looks like it was cut from the tree. It looked like it was grown.
Okay. No, I'm fully expecting this. I don't expect any sort of large craftsmanship up here, so I don't say this out there, right? This is all internal, of course. But yeah.
Hey, the slope was, while it looks natural, doesn't look like it has any tools whatsoever, and is looks like it's put up with more wear than stonewood.
While I'm asking this, I'll ask our our guide and ask her, is this kind of craftsmanship done by magic or by some sort of other means? I ask him. So.
He says it's been lovingly done by hand.
Oh.
I'm sure dwarves would appreciate the living world being shaped by will and skill over the dead and dying corpses of stone, metals, and gemstones.
No, I can understand. I said every race has its way of doing things, and this is a very interesting way. I've never seen this before.
Well, so, he did hear that you like to strap a broom between your legs and fly.
Well, that was the broom that I just sold to the eels, but anyway. But yeah, that's an unusual fact to myself, but hey, you take opportunities while they come. But yeah, this is very interesting. Very interesting.
Says you may have found the tree that broom was made from.
Oh, okay.
Because these trees also provide as well as protect.
Yeah, very, very, very interesting.
Of course, if you try to attack an elf on the forest on one of these pathways, expect the pathway to disappear wherever you're standing.
Got you.
In which case, you might have had that broom might have been handy.
No, it's okay. I'm feeling quite confident here. So.
And as you're standing there, you feel the tree shift about 10 feet to the left, with the whole path moving with you.
Oh, okay.
So I don't mind that. That's just the wind.
Okay, but is this So we go out, go up to the middle of the tree and then go out in branches. Is that what it pretty much happens? Or?
It looks like to you the equivalent of a tunnel with these nice leaves and branches above you and below you.
Okay, fair. I'm just intrigued by this whole what I'm used to is the stonework of dwarves and all that kind of stuff. It's interesting to see how another race does these sort of things. So, yeah.
And unlike dwarves, there's no safety rails.
That's something I picked up on noting to myself, saying, hey, when I head back home, I can just say, hey, they have no safety rails. They really need to upgrade their systems. But yeah. But I'll keep that to myself. I'm noticing, but not keep it to myself.
And Trellen feels more alive than he's felt before. The trees seem to welcome him as he's out on the branches here.
Nice.
And apparently my cat just piped up wanting to greet him too.
That was a forest cat.
And as you travel along, you feel the limbs shift and move under you as you walk. It doesn't feel like it's going to let you go. It's just this strange sort of moving of wood as you walk. You'd expect it to be solid and unmoving from everything you've grown up with. And this is a strange feeling.
Yeah. It's almost like walking on a slow-moving boat.
It is. You actually feel fairly much at home walking on this.
Just for confirmation, Martin, Dimitri is currently memorising feather fall and fly every day of travel.
I can understand the need for that. You mean Dimitri might actually have to cast a spell?
I was not planning to, just being prepared.
Okay. And you're currently traversing the forest. You expect it to take a couple of days to travel to the town of Ainsun.
So Dimitri will take the opportunity to chat to our guide along the journey. Aiming to pick up all the tourist information that you can provide about all the different features and points of interest that go along.
Well, he starts to describe a few different things that look like it's going to be of interest when you then hear the sound of a creature howling close by. Not quite wolf-like, but it sounded very high-pitched and guttural at the same time.
And it sounds like it's on the same level as us, or are we talking down on the forest floor?
Sounds like it's on the same level as you.
Yeah, okay.
And Aelin says that even though these are elven walkways, other creatures do access them at times. He says, are you...
Well, I mean, Epicarians are based on the Mongols, and the Mongols do a lot of tube and throat singing, and you just basically described high-pitched, guttural growl. Yeah, no, it's probably an Ethingarian. Definitely an Ethingarian.
Okay, so I'm going to get you to give me an initiative check to see how well you're going to go with that.
Yep. Whoa, Dimitri's off the mark.
What did he...
2, so he gets 5.
I get 12 for Bradshaw.
21.
And how about Trellen?
Are you looking for an initiative roll?
I am looking for initiative roll.
We've heard a howl, and depending upon how you want to react.
Just roll a dice and laugh when you roll one.
Alright, it's 29.
Dang.
Yeah, Trellen's pretty quick off the mark normally.
Well, he is the
Well, I got
person you
plus
want...
10.
He's the person you want to have there when things go wrong. So I'm looking for the right sound to throw your way to make you feel at home.
I mean, I'm sure you mean Plumman, because Plumman is the greatest shield against things going wrong. He's undefeated in combat, haven't you heard?
Okay, so Trellen, Aelin says it sounds as if some beasts have gotten onto the path ahead of us. He suggests you clear the way.
Are you still reacting, Martin?
Just waiting on Martin to...
That's not like exactly as Martin M in the sense of...
Oh, sorry.
Cut out.
Yeah, and is there a way to use my 35 feet of movement to see things?
You are currently riding some form of horse.
Okay.
So you'd probably have about 40 to 60 of movement on the horse.
Okay.
You wish to ride on ahead and find out.
Yes, but I don't want to get too close.
Okay.
Well, the howl did sound like it was still quite some distance off yet. And obviously, I'm assuming, we haven't seen anything as such ahead.
Well, it's just that my longbow has a pretty good range. But
Yep.
just,
Okay, so you're going to...
have a feet.
Are you going to do a dash to make sure you can get far enough down to see them?
Yes.
Okay. Moving down the path ahead of everyone, Trellen sees what appears to be large birds on the path and off to the side of the path.
Right.
With beaks full of jagged, sharp teeth.
Right. Well, these look pretty bad.
And then you can yell that back to the others if you wish.
Well,
How many
I want
birds?
to spend a chi point to take the dash action, and then I'll shoot 2 arrows.
Okay. Are they going at the same target?
Well,
You can choose to swap after hitting one if you wish to.
I'll see what the result of the first one is.
Okay. Firing the first arrow into the forest.
25.
25. You hit one of the giant birds.
And what's... Oh, so if I go back to longbow and venom, the ammunition range is that 180. So yeah, is it 180 or is it 660?
They are within your shorter range distance.
Okay. Alright, and so I will add it. So I roll 2d8, and then I add another d4 just for fun. Wherever that is. Always worried about spilling dice because there's a cat that will jump up and
Run off with your dice.
yeah, that's right.
My cat thinks the dice is silly and doesn't touch them.
No, she's quite. She's only a kid. I think she's under a year old. So, yeah. So she's very interested in dice. And then plus a D4, 4. So 7 plus 4 plus 6.
17.
That number. How does that?
Okay, your arrow embeds into the bird and it stares at you with one of its beady eyes.
Okay.
And the eye starts to glow red as it stares at you.
Alright, well I'll shoot it again. This time it's a 17.
You hit again.
Okay. 20.
20 points. Okay. Your second arrow digs into it and it still remains standing.
Jeez.
Carmen, you're up.
Yeah, big birdies. Did you say how many birdies there were?
No, I did not.
Well, I don't think
Okay.
not there, but obviously he doesn't know either.
That would have been a perception roll to actually count the numbers.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Plyman is utterly infuriated that someone would ride up to combat without him, and then suddenly realizes that he's going to be in combat while mounted, and sort of just looks around like he doesn't know what to do. But then suddenly snaps back.
Go for a flanking
Snaps
maneuver.
back into life. Shut up. I'll take the high
Straight off,
ground.
Brad.
Yeah. Rishem just fades out as I hit the ground.
Well,
So Plumman will engage one of the many riding abilities he has. So he will spur Regem on. Regem doesn't really give him a choice anyway. Regem immediately starts galloping off towards bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Plumman will use his first action to draw the bow that has been gathering dust on his horse, knock an arrow, and shoot at
Are you sure the string has been oiled recently? It sounds like it has been left there since you created him.
Yep, that sounds like a game mechanics problem. Yeah, just give me 2 secs, sorry. I'm navigating some streets as well as pulling up the character sheet. Don't drive in D&D, kids. No, we're not playing Guru Shadow Figures. Oh. Okay, alright. Plumman Goranov, level 9 Barbarian. There we go. I lost the stats for it. We'll have to just do this quickly. I'm sure I have it written down somewhere. Come on. I know I have it written down somewhere. Well, that's just rude. Okay. Damn. Alright, so it's a longbow. What's the damage roll for longbow? Can anybody help me out that one, please?
Are you proficient in it?
Oh god, I am proficient.
Because obviously it depends on how proficient you are, how skilled.
Oh no, so no special, just normal base damage.
Probably the only thing, I think.
So he's proficient?
Proficiency for...
I expect him to...
For a stat of 1, so it's just going to be a +5, isn't it?
Seems about right.
Yep. Cool. I really have no desire to do any damage other than just using this stupid bow.
That's right. It's got a blade
probably don't roll 2d20. Yeah, exactly right.
Would you like Jeremy to roll for you, considering how well he rolls?
No, I got 19 to hit.
You actually hit. I'm assuming you're going for the same target Martin did.
Yeah, sure. 2 damage! Woo!
2 whole damage.
That killed him. Well done.
What game system are we playing? We're playing D&D. Do I
Yep.
2 attacks or just the 1?
I believe there's a possibility of having 2 attacks. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because your bow has the 0 reload, so yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, a long bow from horseback might be more challenging, but I'm sure you can do it.
Well, I mean, literally trains his entire life to do this sort of thing.
Absolutely, that's
Ooh, 19. What did I say the plus was? +5?
Yep.
Yep, 24 to hit.
That's also a hit.
A hit. A 5 hit. And 6 damage.
6 damage. With 4 arrows in it, it's still standing.
Well, that's cool. Barman will eagerly await its approach. And he also pats Regem on the head. Nice work, buddy.
Okay, so...
Regem hasn't stopped though, it's going for the charge.
So
Yeah, but there's nothing on the ground, is there?
Well, it's a longbow of venom that I'm using, and so there's a extra thing which would require rolling against poison.
Okay.
So they've got to make a save versus poison, do they?
Yes, but only for DC 15, so I don't know.
Okay, the GM rolled a 17 on the dice.
Yep, there you go.
And that twice.
Okay, that time I got a 14.
But
that
I don't-
means it's another 2d10 damage. And I've got to fish out different dice.
that
That's
was
11
14
damage.
total save, wasn't it, man?
That was a 14 of the total save on the second one.
Yep.
I had 11 on the die. Yep.
And become poisoned for 1 minute. I don't know what that means.
Okay, what it means is that the poison condition, when you are poisoned, because it is a special condition,
Right.
they
they have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
So did the 11 damage kill it?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Sounds like a disadvantage on attack rolls.
It is very much a disadvantage on attack rolls.
But in answer to your comment, David, is well, we don't know if there's anything on the ground, but at least some of these birds are sitting on the branches that you're running along. They're not flying.
So that they are on your level. But David's not here at the moment, which makes it hard for him to hear us. Okay, so one of them falls off the branch you're currently riding along. As you see behind it, another 3 come rushing towards you with its little wings outstretched with big sharp claws sticking out the end of it. And as they close in, they jump 30 feet towards you as their final attack.
So they're definitely running rather than flying. Is that right, Mark?
They are definitely running rather than flying, but they run so fast they may as well be flying.
Absolutely, that's fair enough.
So the first one comes
so
running,
my cloak of displacement,
and
they have disadvantage to hit.
unfortunately your horse does not have disadvantage. Because your cloak does not apply to the horse.
And if they're aiming for the horse, except wearing a cloak.
Okay, what is a horse's armor class?
But I've got that down my standard. So.
I've got that down. Just noting down how much hit points a standard horse has as well. Just because it, might be handy. Okay, so it leaps at Trellen, hitting his horse. Don't think it would have hit Trellen either way, but his horse does go down. It rolled a natural 1 on its strength save to not get knocked over.
So Trellen might want to leap aside as the horse goes down.
Well, I don't think I was on it. Because of
You-
the cloak of displacement.
You rode forward on the horse, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
In order to get the extra speed to get there in time.
Alright.
Shoot.
And its damage is, well, that sounds like it's going to be rather unfortunate. Where are those nice high rolling dice? There they are. Don't worry, I'm not pulling out my precision dice on you. Okay, so that does... $14 damage on your horse as it strikes it.
Does that kill it?
It does not kill it, but it then knocks it over, and you see your horse start to slide off the walkway. Do you stay on the horse?
No, I'd like to jump off it.
Then
Grab the reins and then Artax, don't go down.
give me a reflex saving throw.
Reflex saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw, sorry. Too many other systems.
That's fine.
Jeremy, that was fucking awful. Oops, sorry.
25.
25. Okay, you roll off your horse and watch with not even a second thought as it flies off the edge of the tree branch.
Okay.
Luckily for you, you weren't tied to it. As the next one comes charging at Regem. Does Regem get hit on a 14?
No. I actually don't have Regen stats anymore. They're written down on this piece of paper. But I remember that 14 is definitely.
There's a good chance you're right on that. And I may actually have them written down.
Sorry, what was the question?
I may actually have them written down still.
Oh, cool.
Nope, not in that book, so I'll go have a look at something else. Okay, so. Does Regem have armor?
Body.
He just went up line against my mum.
I saw that. Makes it a bit hard to ask the question.
Of course, Rob, yours armor. Right.
Well, I'd expect it would have at least a leather body. Probably not metal, I wouldn't think they'd be keen for, but I would have thought leather would be uncommon.
Leather's not uncommon. I'm just seeing if I've actually still got my notes on it. Because I'd done the notes up with David at one stage.
Yeah. I guess you're trying to look through and see whether or not the D&D character is actually on the web page at all.
Not as well as I'd like. I'm slowly getting there.
But when there might be at least an old version of Trellen, that sort of thing, yes.
Okay, so apparently the superb horse is still only got a dexterity of +1 bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So that is enough to hit his horse. So Regem
Dies. Oh, what a shame.
does manage to withstand the strike, but takes 11 points of damage.
I suspect that doesn't slow it down too much.
Not too much. And the third one rushes down and pounces at Regem as well. And that's definitely a hit. For a whole 9 points of damage, so...
20 so far. I suspect he's...
And Regem, no problem staying up from that as well. Okay, just making sure I know who's got... So Trellen's got 1 on him, and Plowman has 2.
So how far in front of the party effectively are they?
They are 60 feet in front.
60 feet in front, yeah, okay.
Then Dimitri and Bradshaw here sounds from either side of them as you see another 2 each side making their way along other branches above you.
Yep.
Then it is Bradshaw's go.
Well, Bradshaw isn't on Bruce because Bruce didn't let him on, so he's not off the mount. Considering there's 2, if I see 2 on one side of me, kind of thing.
You do.
How far away they are?
They are about 20 feet out and 30 feet up.
20 feet out and 30 feet up.
But is there effectively a pathway of branches to get to them?
As long as the dwarf's willing to jump over an abyss of nothingness and hope that his weight isn't enough to break the branches up here.
Yeah, look, I'm not jumping there, Dimitri, just letting you know.
No, I want to open more just asking that question of the idea, okay, because obviously it's a bit, the terrain is a bit unusual, so, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to make sure I'm between these things and Bruce, if that makes sense. Now, I've got a range of my
Well,
hammer.
there's no way to be between them and Bruce because there's some on the left and some on the right.
I know, but I'm just trying to at least take, like, be in front of two that I see on one of my side, kind of thing. So, now, I have no idea what Bruce's hit points are. I'm not going to go there with that one, but I've got a 20-foot range on my Warhammer throw. Is that too far? Is that going to be too far away? Close enough to hit them at the moment, or not?
A 20-foot range, when they're 20 feet out and 30 feet up, is more than your range can go.
I'm sure the Bradshaw could quite happily throw his hammer away.
It's a returning hammer, by the way, Jeremy. We've gone past this issue last time. I don't think I can do. But I want to move my crossbow around, which I don't have these stats for right in front of me right now. My angry one. I can't prepare it. I can't prepare it. If anything comes within range, I can't hit it. Then I can't prepare it.
You can ready an action to strike if something meets the conditions of your preparation.
So you could prepare to strike at something if it comes within range.
That's what I'm pretty much doing.
Preferably enemy.
I'll rephrase it. If it comes within Bradshaw's range, that is a enemy. I'd like to hit it, Martin. So, I know I've got two attacks. Like it's only a one attack option, so a ready action. So
I need to clarify that.
Yep.
Does Bradshaw think of Dimitri as an enemy still?
I was just about to ask the same question.
With you there, David.
I am.
I thought the answer was obvious.
No, look, I don't like him, or extremely don't like him, but compared to something, he would never hurt Bruce, hopefully, so therefore...
Yes was a valid
right.
answer.
No,
we can rephrase the terms. You might not like him and you might consider him an enemy, but just swing at something that's a threat, because we all know that Bradshaw isn't a threat at all. That Dimitri isn't a threat at all.
That's a good point. I like that though. But yeah,
he's just weak.
If one of the birds come within range, Martin, I'd like to have it swing at a ready action.
Okay, you have readied yourself to swing.
Now, with the ready action, can I apply my weapon options when I use my ready action?
You have to specify what you're doing beforehand.
Yep. So I've got down bruising blow, head cracker, and rib shatter on my ready action. Okay. So that's I got three options.
You're trying to do all three at once?
I believe my weapon mastery allows me to do three at once.
Mm-hmm.
First time I've had to use this. Just your new rules you put in. So.
Let's have a look at what weapon mastery may have changed to since you last looked at it.
Yep.
I thought it was the only weapon mastery. Allowed you multiple options, but not necessarily all at the same time.
I think it's my archetype that helps with that one. So.
You may not have looked at it recently.
No, I just went on the website before, but maybe I didn't read it properly. I'm happy to be told wrong.
Okay, that's on fighter. Bugger. Well, it's been a while since I've looked at it, but I did clean things up.
There might be only two options, not three, actually. Going to my archetype.
Okay.
Can trigger two weapon effects on a usable with a bonus action within a single bonus action. Okay, I'll have to reword that.
Okay, so if you scroll up on that section, you might see that there's a weapon mastery version 1.0.
Yep, okay, yep, so I'm an expert.
Then you scroll up further than that, and you see an updated version.
Ah, so that's the old, okay.
So you probably find you doing more damage.
No. Okay.
You get more weapon. You don't now know everything. You're now going to specify which weapons you do know. But twice per day, you can increase what you have for weapons, and you can have 2 reactions with the same weapon.
Ah, okay. So okay. So that's for the moment of okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So based on that, I can just use one option, I think.
That is correct, because most of them are the things that you were talking about were replacing your attacks with that ability. So if you're going to do Rib Shatter, you're replacing your attacks with a Rib Shatter.
It's just stumbling, that's all. Yeah, I'm gonna go like a prepare a Rib Shatter attack if it comes within range of that first one range. That'll be my attack, so I'm aiming to try to stun him. Base that button.
Okay, so let me see. Do Rib Shatter.
I've
So
got a DC of 18 for my weapon.
okay, so you've replaced all your attacks with the Rib Shatter, and you're going to use your reflex to your reaction to do so, leaving you 1 reaction to use with the weapon.
Yep.
Okay, so with that happening, that's not too bad. Then Dimitri's go.
So it's basically, we've got 2 large birdies on one side, 2 large birdies on the other side, 3 large birdies coming from the front, about 60 feet away, dealing with the guys in the front.
And one of them falling off the bridge. So you've one of the attackers has gone down. There may be more coming.
Yeah, they're going to 2 at the front there too. Yeah.
No, there's 3 at the front. There were 4.
Okay. So how close are the ones on? You said they were about 30 feet away and 20 feet up.
They're about 20 feet out,
30 feet away,
and
30 feet up.
yeah, that's correct.
Yep. And so they're effectively still amongst branches and leaves and the trees.
They are amongst the branches and leaves, and gives them a little bit of cover from range shots, but not much.
Yep. Well, I'll give them a lot more cover, and the 2 on my side, I'm going to go for a web.
Okay.
So, catch them up in the web.
What is the DC for them to be caught in your web?
Well, okay, so the web starts automatically, but each creature that starts its turn in the web will then make a dexterity saving throw with a DC of 18, I think. Yeah, DC 18. If it fails, it's restrained. As long as it remains, or until it breaks free. If it's restrained, it can use its action to make a strength check to get out of it. So.
Okay, so what is the check? It's a dex check at the start of their turn?
At the start of their turn, they'll get a dex check, yeah. So.
Not a bad check to have them.
And
so
I'll use my move to just I'll dismount from the horse so I can hold it separately, and
do you use your horse for cover?
I think we're tying off the horses to each other, weren't we, to actually stop them being like to our guide's horse so he could go through, so that's all right.
It had been suggested to do so, but no one had spoken up to say that they agreed.
Well, okay. Dimitri actually said he was having walking alongside, so or walking with and talking with our guide, so he would certainly have been happy to have tied to his horse. So, but I'm happy if it hasn't happened yet. But either way, yeah, he'll get off and just be taking cover behind the horse. Yeah.
So, did you do the right or left side?
whichever side he was on. So so basically, whichever ones were closest to Dimitri, and assuming that Dimitri and Bradshaw were somewhat side by side, if Bradshaw's on the left, Dimitri gets the right hand side, or vice versa.
As we don't have a decision at this point, you can choose to either be the left or the right.
Okay, he'll take the right side then.
Okay. So you are you have webbed him on that side.
Yeah.
Then Trellen is up. He has one of these big beasties in front of him.
Okay. I'll have a go at it. 21 to hit.
Are you still shooting with your bow, or are you?
No, I'm back to flame tongue.
21 is a hit.
And, okay. 3d8 plus 5 slash. Five. 26 damage.
26 damage, it's still standing.
And 20 to hit.
20 also hits.
And that is 8, 10 plus 5, 24 damage.
24 damage. Okay, it's still standing.
Okay, so I'll I guess that's my round because I used a bonus action to turn on the magic sword.
Okay. So then we're over to Plowman on Regem, who's taken 20 points of damage so far. Plowman hasn't taken any damage. Regem has taken it.
Oh, we're about to see Regem go to rage.
So what happened was...
slowing down too much.
So what you missed was these two birds as big as Regem come flying through the air to pounce on Regem, and Regem just standing there as they hit him and fell down.
Ah. So are they? Are any of them in base contact?
They are. You have two in base contact with you.
Oh, it's double rage time. So both Regem and Plumman rage.
It is time to rage.
Damn it. Okay, all right. So I haven't used this. I haven't used this before, so I need to go back to these abilities that I have these abilities written down. Sure of it. Yes, I do. Oh, I have some of Regem's stats written down. That's helpful.
I actually found the base creature Regem was based on.
Oh yeah, cool. Add its con to its AC.
At how much?
At its con. But there's also 4 levels of Barbarian to add to there as well. Okay, it can make 2 attacks. Rage damage bonus +3. Where is it? No, where's my totem? Beast, Barbarian Archetype Beast, natural weapon while raging. Oh yeah, I turn a bit horsey when I rage apparently, and I can bite people. Damn it, Martin.
Bringing it up now.
Could I trouble you to? I'm sorry, man. Would you be able to link me to Beast Mastery? Barbarian specialization.
Look in the chat.
No. Yeah, cool, thank you. Now my phone's being shit. No, that's not exactly what I need. I'm looking for regems. And that's alright, I can Google that. Is Totem of the Wolf.
The Spirit of the Wolf, is he?
Yeah, so that gives him, I think, advantage on when flanking or when engaging with another or something.
Sorry, just trying to actually send it to you.
Yeah, no, it's alright, I got it on the chat. It's just I've got my phone keeps wanting to multi-window like the arsehole it is. Can you not, please? But okay. You know what? It's not that important. There it is. Boy, sorry guys.
It's all good.
All good, man. We're getting back into it.
Okay, I mean, you only had how long to prepare for this horse combat?
Yeah, and I had everything prepared too.
It's just amusing that it happens and it's like, I can't find my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I find amusing the fact that your first horse combat occurs 1,000 feet up.
Yep. So just for everyone's information, if you're engaging a target that Regem is also targeting, you get advantage on your attack rolls.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my phone is losing its mind.
It's doing too much. You're giving it too much power.
Yeah, unlimited power.
So yes,
Alright.
you and Regime get to attack some birds of unusual size.
Yeah, we're going to engage
I
the
would
same
suggest
target.
the one that I've been hitting.
Unfortunately,
Sure,
he's got
that'll
two on him that are in between you and them.
Okay.
Cool.
So you got one standing in front of you. He got two that hit Regem and are trying to beat him up on Regem.
That's right.
Okay.
Regime and Palmer will probably still go for the one that you've hit after he kills off the first two.
Okay, alright. We're getting there now. We're close. Okay, so we have 15... a 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay, 2 sets. No, wrong dice, you idiot. 5, 6, 7, 8. 18 damage. 20 damage.
20 damage. It's still standing.
Cool.
Hit it again.
Yep. Just 23 to hit.
That is a hit. If only it was Pathfinder 2, it would be a crit.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that makes it 1 to miss then, does it?
For some people, yes.
23 damage.
Okay, and it's still standing.
All right. Regem is going to kick it in the face. Alrighty. Martin, can you guess at some stats?
I believe he would have +4 strength at least, so that would give him a at the same rough bonuses you get, so about +9 to hit.
26 to hit.
Definitely a hit.
Uh-huh. Sorry. Any guess at damage?
So I would assume 2d8 plus 4.
Oh, 20 damage, max damage.
Nice.
The horse is actually doing. I'm going to Bradshaw's attacks.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Natural 20 for the second attack.
Okay, so Regem kills one of them and then turns on the other one with his natural 20.
Nice.
So, with his barbarian levels, I'm happy to say that he has 3d8 instead of 2d8. So we'll make
I'll work with
Regem
that
do
too.
3d8 plus 4 multiplied by 2.
Sure, 2 cents. Uh, 40 damage.
40 damage. Okay, such a mighty blow when the creature is still standing.
Mm-hmm.
But Regem feels a bit better having inflicted more damage than he received in one blow.
Yep, and probably more damage than Barman almost.
Okay. With that, it is the creature's retaliation. One of them tries to bite Trellen. And it is with disadvantage because Trellen has his cloak.
Displacement.
So that would be a 14 to hit Trellen.
It's a miss.
It is a miss. He misses Trellen. Then one of them is trying to attack. Is going for Regem. And he hits Regem.
Great.
Dealing 13 points of damage to Regem. Regem's taken 36 damage so far.
Half that is his raging.
Okay, so I will... So Regem's taken 28 damage all up.
Cool.
Okay, then the ones on the left pounce on towards the party, and this is where the dwarf gets to make his reaction. Does he wish to take his reaction as it comes within range?
Yep. 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
Okay, I'll roll normal damage. $29 damage, normal damage. And they must make a Constitution DC 18 roll, or they're stunned next round.
Okay. They are stunned.
That one's
Wow, my phone was not happy. It just restarted itself.
That's my reaction done, right? So.
Okay, so it bounces down next to you as the one beside it pounces on top of you. Apparently it rolled low, so it hits armor class 12.
Not 20 for me.
So it does not hit you. On Dimitri's side. First one is caught by the webbing. And does not get out of the webbing. The second one is so caught in the webbing, I don't think it's getting out. It seems to be having the time of its life, ripping its feathers out.
All good.
As it seems to be rolling around in it. It's always good when your actions work pretty well.
Well, hey. And when does Dimitri's actions ever fail?
No time you'd like to admit. Next up we have is Bradshaw.
Oh, so I've got one stun next to me.
Yep.
And one that tried to hit me but failed. So I'll hit the stun one. Is that advantage?
You can hit the stunned one.
Do I get advantage on it? I'm not sure. I didn't know what the stun for was for. So I didn't write that down on my sheet. I just think it's stunned. Assume that it can't move, I would get advantage.
The stun condition is incapacitated, can't move, and can't speak. Automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
My first attack, I'll attack the stun one first.
Okay.
20 to hit, I assume hits.
20 does hit.
So just no options on this one, just normal attack now. So.
Well, you have to declare your options before you swing.
Right, 32 damage.
How much?
32.
32. Sorry, you didn't talk into the microphone last time, so I have to...
That's right. That's right. My apologies.
So the stunned one is now killed.
Cool. And my next attack on the other one, just attack. Normal tick, no options.
If you're going to use your those weapon options like that, that is replacing your attacks.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Makes sense. That's a 27 hit.
That is a hit.
$30 damage. 30 damage, man.
30 damage, yep. And I'm assuming you only have 2 attacks?
Only 2 attacks. That's it for me.
Just checking. Okay, so Bradshaw swings and swings. He doesn't do any bonus actions.
I got action surge as well.
Okay, you action surge.
19 to hit.
19 hits.
Uh, 24 damage.
Okay, so he kills the second one.
Now
The closest one to you that's not in webbing is 60 feet away.
I'm going to stand in front of Dimitri. So I'm make sure they can go through me first, if that makes sense.
A minute there,
You're on the edge, you're right on the edge, are you, mate? Dimitri?
No. I put I'm behind my horse, so therefore you can stand in front of the horse as well.
Okay, how close is the horse to the actual side? Is it right on the side of the
Quite close.
road, or? I'm trying to find a way I can just... So I won't be able to reach the 61 because I'm only 20 feet running at one time, so it's taking me a while to catch up the ploughman, and they've got that covered. So
Just stand at the back of my horse, it'll be fine.
All I want to make sure is I'm between Bruce and the birds at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, I'll just move around there, and I can't use my 4th attack. So that's it for me.
Okay, Dimitri, you are now up.
Okay, I guess I will take a shot with my crossbow at the one that appears to be less well restrained in the webbing.
I think it'd be safest resting there.
What was that?
I believe David said something and disappeared.
Yeah, I missed what he said.
Yeah.
But it was a 22 to hit. For 10, 13, 24, 27 points.
So what was your non-magical bow?
Non-magical piercing.
27 points.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hit one of them, and unfortunately you can't fire more than once with those weapons.
No, that's fine. No, exactly fine. I'll basically take a bonus action to officially be hiding behind the horse.
Okay. Trellen, you're now up. There is one horse near... there is one of these big birds in front of you, and there's one in front of Ploughman.
So when you say in front
You were punching it last round.
Okay,
And it
well,
was quite effective.
I'll attack that. It's only a 12.
With a 12, you miss.
Oh, and next one's a crit.
A crit success or a crit fail?
A crit success.
Okay, so yes, you hit this one so hard you actually hear the skull crack as its 1 hit point does not withstand the blow you had to fling at it.
Right. Okay. Done. And I'll look around to see if there's anything on fire.
There is nothing on fire.
So you're expecting things on fire?
It's a flame tongue sword.
Oh, right.
Luckily, you have not burnt anything yet. Next up, we...
And Demetrius is specifically not using fire stuff around in the Elven Forest with an Elven champion nearby. But admittedly, he's not been particularly impressed with the Elven champion so far.
Well, he seems to be watching you and taking notes.
I did figure that's what he was doing. I was getting images of the professor that gets played like in Harry Potter, the heckle the stories, but doesn't actually do anything.
I'm sure he'll say 5 points to Gryffindor soon. Okay, so...
The one played by Kenneth Branagh in the movies.
Okay, so yes, you are now up to Plumman, who seems to be currently away from connection, so he's going to be delaying until he gets back. Which does mean the creature there is attacking his horse, because he's delaying.
Well, I was going to say, the achievement between him and the horse, he managed to kill him.
We could, but he's currently not here to help.
Yeah.
So Regem takes another 16 points of damage, which is reduced to half, so it takes another 8 points. Okay, and then we have the ones in the web. I believe they're going to make a strength check once they've been caught in the web.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one manages to pull itself out of the web. I'm assuming it can't actually do much more after that.
No, actually, if you... Oh, no, sorry. Creature restrained by the webs can use its action to make a strength check against the spell's DC. If it succeeds, it's no longer restrained. So technically it could move after breaking free.
Okay, it...
Moves close to Bradshaw. Yeah. Okay.
It moves out of the webbing along the branches.
I'm assuming this is the one that got shot by the crossbow bolt?
It is.
Okay, because I'm guessing the other one probably gets disadvantage on its attempt to escape.
So it got a 16 on its check, so it's still caught up in the webbing. And then we're up to Bradshaw's turn.
I had a question for you, Martin.
You do?
So I was just checking the pages for an update to my character sheet.
Yep.
It's got versatile on it, but it's not on the website. But I'll talk to you about that later. I just noticed when I was trying to work out what two-handed is for my Warhammer, but that's okay. Now, all enemies are further than 15 feet away from me, right?
All enemies are further than 15 feet away from you is correct.
One of them's only a hop, skip, and jump. Just be aware about that hop and the skip part.
Yeah. I'd like the horse to move, so I'm in front, but it's up to Dimitri. If he wants to lose his horse, I'll leave it up to him.
I've got a movement rate of 50 feet.
Yeah. I've only got 20. I'm a little dwarf. Small legs.
There's probably no reason why you can't push the horse. Like I said, I'm not on the horse, so there's no reason why you couldn't maneuver the horse.
So have you looked at the Warhammer for versatile and you couldn't find it on the Warhammer?
No, when you click it, it just goes back to that website. It doesn't have versatile down. It has defensive range, throw on, but I couldn't find versatile there. So.
On the Warhammer?
Yep, on the Warhammer. You click the option, it just takes you back to the same page. So that's all right. That's all good. It might have been just a link thing, Martin. So I'll let you.
So did you try scrolling down?
Scrolling down yet? So when you look at the
so it's
weapon
not there either.
No. Yeah, that's all cool. I'm not using two-handed now. I just thought I'll just update my practice sheet. So
on the base of it, it would turn the damage from a D8 to a D10.
Yeah, but I've got got 3d8 kind of thing plus.
Yeah, so you probably find it turns the D8 instead of the D10s.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll sort it out afterwards, kind of thing. I'm going to. Well, I so tempted to push the horse off the road. I'm just going to push the horse so I'm in front of between the bird that's coming out and Dimitri, and I want to do a ready action for a rib shatter again.
You want to do a ready action for a rib shatter?
Yep.
Okay.
Against the bird, of course, not Dimitri, just the bird.
Or the horse.
Or the horse, or Bruce, or our new elven friend.
Well, that's completely up to you. Okay, so that should now work if you'll load the page again.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it.
No, that's okay. Some of these things are quick fixes. Okay, so that means it does D10 if you're using two hands instead of being a D8.
Thank you.
Okay. So you ready for if they come within range of you again?
Yep, and I'll do a rib shatter by ready to action within melee range.
Okay. I'm assuming that at this stage. But making that specific. Okay, Dimitri's now up. One of them is within 30 feet of you. The other one's about 40 feet away as it's moved out of the webbing.
Okay. Well, I am not moving, so I can use a bonus action to take a steady aim at the one that's a bit further away and not trapped in the webbing. And so I will again take a shot with the crossbow. 25.
25 is a hit.
15, 20, 26 points of damage.
26 points of damage. Okay, Dimitri takes out one of the creatures.
What do you mean one? I've already taken out two because the other one doesn't count because it can't go anywhere.
But it's still moving.
Oh, Bradshaw gives him a thing, two fingers, but the right way, two fingers. So you got one, and I got two.
Okay, then it is Trellen's turn. There is still the one fighting Plowman who seems to have the advantage on Plowman right now.
Can I run up to it?
You can and get flanking.
Alright, I'll do that. What's the advantage of flanking?
I believe flanking reduces its armor class by 2.
Okay.
But it doesn't affect your roll, it just affects how easy it is to hit.
Alright, so that's a 20 to
That's
hit.
a hit.
Okay.
And if you had sneak attack, flanking would give you the sneak attack bonus.
I don't have that. Damage.
26 damage, and you take it down with a nice blow.
Alright, is there anything that's
You see,
also in range?
you see one in the branches about 20 feet back.
Would I be able to get to that with a 50-foot movement?
I believe you can. Do you have any tree striding walking abilities?
Is this the one that's trapped in the web?
No. Yes, that is exactly the one trapped. This is not the one trapped in the web. The one trapped in the web is
That's 60 feet plus away, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 50 feet away.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, exactly, yeah, because this was one I was thinking, hang on, this one we hadn't actually spotted before. Hadn't been involved yet.
So you are able to make 50 feet of tree striding? If not, that would be...
I can't, but I can just switch to my longbow.
You can switch to your longbow or attack it using acrobatics to get there. But on the bright side, you'll have no problem sticking to the location with the webbing.
Acrobatics. No, that's not a strong suit for me. So I'll switch to the longbow.
Okay, you pull out the longbow.
So it's a 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
Okay. 2d8. 16. Plus it has to resist poison damage.
It got a 21 on its resistance to poison.
Okay. It's resistant.
So it survives another round. Plowman is still not here, so we shall see if the creature breaks free of the webbing. It does not. So, Bradshaw with his preparation has his preparation ready to action fail.
So Dimitri, can I free action to say, like looking around, is this the last one apparently?
The last one.
Talk to our elven guide and say, is it worth killing it? You just leave it trapped there and we'll escape in an hour or so.
It's not natural to the forest, he says.
Okay.
You'll be doing the forest a service by removing such creatures.
Okay, happy with that.
Now, I'm going to just to refresh my memory. What was my angry crossbow? What was the bonus on it? Was it +2 or 1? Or?
I can't remember, it's been that long.
Yeah, I'm going to use +1 because I go with you.
That is fine.
Yeah. I'll slot my hammer away, get the heavy crossbow out, and the crossbow was.
It's actually just a long bow with a big rock tied to it.
It is pretty much.
Yeah, pretty fair. So, sorry. Is it a longbow or was it a crossbow?
It was a longbow.
Or might have been a short
No,
bow.
there was a short bow with a rock attached to it.
Short bow, okay.
But
And
it's very
it-
angry.
And it starts swearing in Dwarven.
Oh, okay. So, that's going to be.
So your base short bow damage is D6, I think.
1d6 is it?
Yeah, D6.
Okie dokie. Now to swap the weapons over, does that take any sort of actions out or bonus actions or anything?
I am assuming bonus actions to swap weapons. I think quick draw has a effect on stuff. So quick draw generally, if it, I think it allows you to draw weapons.
Use anything? Yeah. I sort of asked the question.
Well, I'm looking it up now.
Thank you.
Okay, so quick draw doesn't seem to be a feat anymore. So I think you can draw weapons as a using objects. See objects using during combat. It's been a while since I've looked at those.
Yeah. Because you don't actually get move actions in this one, do you? You just
Page
get
190.
a movement total.
Here are things you can do in tandem with your movement and an action. Draw or sheath a sword. So you could drop your sword and draw your crossbow as part of your action.
Of course, you may not want to just drop your warhammer while you're standing 1,000 feet on near an edge of the tree.
I'm happy to just leave my Warhammer, take my crossbow out, and just that's my action item.
I'm happy with that.
And this is the first time I've used it, so I'm going, oh god, all the bloody swearing, dwarven swearing.
Yep, it does swear. It does tell you how much you could have used it in lots of swear words in the previous rounds.
I assume our elven friend is laughing stuff.
He is.
Cool. That's it, me. I'm done.
Okay, Dimitri, you're up.
Okay, we will go for 15 the trained one. 28 to hit.
It does hit quite easily.
And 10, 23 points of damage.
23 points of damage. It's still alive.
I'm sure it is. It hasn't been hit yet. So.
That's the second time it's been hit by you.
Is it?
Yep.
I thought I had 2 shots on the first one and then. Okay. I thought I've only had 3 shots so far. Yep.
I've been keeping track of damage.
All good. Happy with that. So.
It took 2 shots to kill the first one and 1 shot on this one, and now it's the second shot on this one.
Okay. I didn't think I had 3 shots yet, or 4 shots yet, but okay.
Okay, so I believe you have 2 shots in a round.
Not with no. Well, Dimitri doesn't get 2 attacks in a round, but with a crossbow, it's got loading, so he'd only ever get 1 anyway.
Okay. So. Then that's right. Trellen shot one. Shot at one, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he's the one that. So
Trellen
did take a bit of a longer shot.
Right? Yep. So now it's Trellen's turn. Would you like to finish off the last one?
Yes. That's a 23.
That is a hit.
Okay.
It fails the poison resistance roll.
Okay. So initially it did 17 points of damage, and then it does.
I suspect the 17 is going to be enough.
The 17 is enough.
Okay, that's it.
So Trellen takes down the last one.
Well, the last one that had already been incapacitated right at the start of the combat by Dimitri.
So I'm sure to Playman's disappointment, Trellen has taken down 3 of the creatures. Regem has taken down 1 of the creatures. Plumman has taken down 1 of the creatures. And Bradshaw has taken down 2 of the creatures, with Dimitri taking down 1.
But that's only because Plumman was AFK for a fair chunk of the fight.
I know, but hey, we don't have his stats handy, so unfortunately he steps back and lets everyone else handle things while he's raging.
Dimitri will go and have a look at the corpses, like a couple corpses that Bradshaw left nearby.
Yep.
And just examine them and think, are we talking axe beaks?
Give me a nature check.
18. Untrained or unproficient type, but like.
Dimitri,
but it's not the.
Dimitri looks them over and he remembers stories that others mentioned of the Isle of Dread and the fact that they have what they call dinosaurs there. And these look like aberration versions of dinosaurs.
Right.
Which they do say the forest does have aberrations of real world creatures appearing in.
Yep. So sort of their aberrant velociraptor type creatures, is that what we're talking?
Aberrant Allosauruses.
Allosauruses? Oh my god. Very aberrant running around the trees.
Well, they had the strength and the claws to be able to get up here and run around.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yes, you get many thanks from Aelin for your efforts He seems to have been keeping track of what you were doing.
I do put my crossbow away after it's yelling at me more than so many times. Straight up, as soon as I get an opportunity, I do it.
Well, it swears at you to the pointing out that you were so slow at pulling it out, you didn't even get to fire it.
I'm just trying to just ignore it kind of the whole time. So.
And you can even hear Bruce in the background snickering.
Yeah, good to see you do something, I say.
Then he just lets another stinking cloud go in your direction.
I remember that he did today. He has temperamental anger issues. Okay.
He'd been holding that one in just for this occasion.
Sorry, everyone. Let's keep moving. No need to hang around here right now.
Well, you can't say he didn't do anything now.
Yeah. Next time I'll let him get his ass thrown off the bloody thing. Anyway.
So now, technically, Trellen's no longer got a mount?
Trellen no longer has a mount.
But probably...
I do have 50 foot of me.
I was going to say, it's probably still just as quick anyway, so...
Yeah.
Considering you've got a 20-foot movement dwarf amongst you, you are going quite slow along the trees.
Oh, of course, the dwarf isn't mounted either, is he?
He is not.
I'm not allowed to be mounted on my brother. I can't mount my brother. Against a lot of different things, so...
I'm sure that there are many reasons you could do so.
Well, just confirming, Martin, while we're going along, and Dimitri's got the opportunity to continue chatting with our elven friend, he will tie off his horse to the elven steed.
He makes sure it's tied on properly, so in case you go flying, neither of you go over.
Okay, Dimitri's not always concerned about himself. He's happy that he can... He won't fall off, or he won't fall far. But, yes. It would be annoying to lose the horse. So much effort to keep that ritual up for a fanatical force every day, so...
I can run up and down trees. Which I forgot to use earlier.
So you're saying you do sort of have a three-strike type effect, huh?
It says... where does it say? Movement up to 50 foot of distance made up of running, which can include vertical surfaces and across liquids and jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's probably a good thing you didn't go for it, because apparently you would have been jumping into the web.
Yes. And I have the option of the longbow as well, so...
Admittedly, you probably wouldn't have been affected by the web, because you would have likely made your saving throw, but...
Yeah.
But it would have given him sure footing in the tree.
It wasn't something I was tempted to do that I was going to say, Dimitri's got to take a look at exactly where the bird is currently located, and if it's not actually on branches, he'll just eliminate the web and let it fall.
Well, once your concentration lapses, it falls anyway.
I think actually it's a concentration, or it's got a range of a time of an hour duration. So.
A concentration of 1 hour.
Concentration up to 1 hour, yeah.
Yep. We're a 20-foot cubic area.
So, but it's got like that was my thought was, if it doesn't need to be killed, then we can move on, and in an hour's time it'll let itself out if it hasn't got beforehand. But
it's a very handy spell to have.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could Dimitri spell. Of course, it's handy.
Wow. I've been very tame this whole session.
It's not like Dimitri would do useless things.
Oh, look, you're talking internally here, so I'm looking. So
It's all good.
I'm just concentrating on getting through to getting back on the ground floor again. Dwarves don't like heights, so. a short kind of height thing, so short person height thing.
Okay. So, considering you are moving at 20-foot movement, I'll have to calculate how long it actually takes you to travel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hexes.
Is there
I
a
got-
way to speed up?
The dwarf can actually. The dwarf used to get picked up by Plowman and put on his lovely horse occasionally. So if that's-
Bridge him.
yeah, if Ridgem can hold both Plowman and myself, then I'm happy to sit on that one. That helps out, man.
Cool.
Well, I'll still figure out exactly how long it takes to travel, because
Okay.
movement is one of those things that is important, because you're going 88 miles into the forest.
Yeah, that's
I'm sure that's no link to going backwards in time at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no problems at all. Always a dwarf holding us up in the elven cities.
Okay, where's my adventuring section? That is... There it is, adventuring. Movement. Per minute. Normal is about 24 miles. With you guys moving on horseback, I'd say you'd probably be going about 30 miles a day. So it would take you 3 days to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there a little campsite on the way through that we can use? That
There are all little settlements all the way through off the road.
okay.
And most of the settlements are the equivalent of maybe 1 or 2 houses here and there, as you get to stay with various elves along the way. Though the first stop at the Sunken Weir is more of a armed encampment, because you're overlooking what appears to be one of the most horrific areas of water being sucked down out of this world that you've ever seen. See if I've actually got a picture of it. Okay, now I do have a picture.
Dimitri's certainly happy interested in getting a good look in our stopover, because hey, he's read about this thing and ooh.
Okay, so looking at it from the side, I'll switch over to the TM camera and see if I can give you a good look at it. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, okay. Yep, it looks like a huge chasm in the ground type stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
It is. And then I can go a couple of pages in and give you an actual overview map. So I can get to that point. Each of these hexes is 1 mile across.
Right.
So
Okay,
you're looking
so,
at about a 3-mile chasm by about 2 miles across. 3 by 2.
Okay.
And we've got to go over it, is that right?
You're going. You see it from the above you,
Yeah.
about a mile up
Yeah. But I'm assuming off from the side.
from the side. Yeah. It's a benefit of having a tree highway,
Yeah.
Yes.
though it's not something that's catered for fast movement, because you go too fast, you slide off. So 3 days later, you have reached day number 19 on your current loop. You reach the town of Ainton. I believe they have some extra special information here for you about that location.
Oh, lucky us.
If I can actually find the right section again.
They love the dwarves. They think dwarves are wonderful.
They're great with seasoning and...
I know. I'm just smart. I'm just doing that.
So I'm assuming, Martin, that as we're going, like I'm probably on the second or third day of travel type stuff, do we actually see any difference in the terrain or area when we're going past Dewdrop?
Let me see. Dewdrop actually does have distinctions of it. Okay, so when you pass Dewdrop, you do see that section of the forest where you've told it is the brightest part you've ever seen in Alfheim. Even brighter than the forest area you're travelling along right now.
Uh-huh.
It just looks incredible.
Yep.
Even to
We don't see any unicorn.
you don't see any unicorns from here. You don't actually see the ground floor from here.
No.
And as you reach the village town of Ainsont, because that's the town symbol, it appears to be grown out of the trees itself far more than Alfheim. Everything seems as if it's just a natural outcropping of trees until you see the lights everywhere.
Yeah, we're basically inside the main town square before we realise we're in the town.
You're basically in town before you even notice. The highway goes straight into the town.
Yeah.
And you see there are small trees growing high up in the forest as well.
How much activity, or traffic, has been on the highway as we've been coming along?
You basically see maybe a party of about 5 elves every day.
Okay.
They don't travel along here unless they're sending messages.
Have we had a long rest?
You have had a long rest in that time. You've had 2 days since you fought the creatures.
And do the number of elves increase as we're getting to Anson?
They actually decrease.
Okay.
So the closer you get, the less elves you see moving around, and you are told that the average population of this town is about 500 individuals of the Grunolf clan.
Right. And which was the Grunolf clan again, as far as the descriptions we got given?
They are the elves who specialize in forestry and woodlaw.
Yeah. And what was their attitude towards that? Were they particularly opposed or otherwise?
They are more ambivalent to the others.
Yep.
They are less inclined to be friendly to dwarves than some of the others. And most of their colouring is in natural hues that you don't even realise you've seen elves until they move.
Yeah.
Their clothing just blends in perfectly with the trees.
Yeah.
So you find yourself there and resting up, and you have been taken into Adelon's personal residence. This is where he is set up.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks after you and your mounts while you're here. He asks if you need anything while he's going to go off and get permission from the clan chief.
There's probably not a lot of time to do shopping as such. I don't know if we're welcome to do shopping, but if we're allowed to wander, Dimitri's happy to wander, but I'm also happy that we just wait here.
He doesn't recommend wandering without a guide because you'd have a hard time finding his place again, he says.
Yep.
And you realise that not even the doors are obvious.
Yep. Dimitri's happy to explore his house, hopefully finding the library.
Looking around his place, you do see it has a lot of trinkets from around the world. He's the sort of person who has travelled widely. You see many things that remind you of faraway places. And I'm trying to find the person in charge of the Grunolf clan. And amusingly, I'm having a hard time actually figuring out who's in charge. It's one of those nice and easy things to look through and find, I'm sure.
Of course. Does our guide want to take Trellen with him at all?
He goes by himself.
Mm-hmm.
He says that this is not Trellen's place.
Yep. I wasn't expecting, but I thought I'd double check.
Okay, so you are after about 2 or 3 hours, you're introduced to Jury Fern Whitefarer, and he is told to be the clan master of the area, and he looks very tanned and with bleached blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
He has intricate armor, very well tooled leather, and he asks, "Who are you and why are you here?" Wanting to hear from each of you in turn.
We'll let Trellen go first.
What am I meant to say?
He looks at you and says, "Whatever you wish to say. It's what you say that's important, not what anyone else says."
He's asking the question of who are you and why are you here. What you tell him is up to you. But you are travelling with someone who definitely knows who you are and talks about you talk about what you're going for. So.
But you have a feeling it's important to him that you tell him who you are and why you're here, not someone else tell him that.
All right. But what do you guys think I'm here for?
Well, assuming that you're not planning for false, like I say, I would not be recommending falsehood in your stories at the moment. And as a party, officially we're here to save the unicorn from the beholder, because you'd received a vision of unicorns in danger.
Okay.
How much detail you want to go into it? Different up to you.
I'll just say that. We'd like to save the unicorn from the beholder.
You'd like to save a unicorn from the beholder. He sort of looks thoughtful. Can you describe the unicorn? Does the unicorn have any meaning to you?
No, it's white.
It's got one horn.
It's got one horn, and it's got a shaggy mane.
And how about the beholder? Does the beholder have any meaning to you?
It's just something we want to hunt down so that it doesn't kill the unicorn.
I can understand that. Do you know where in the forest you saw this?
No, that's why we're kind of roaming.
Well, that is good to know, he says. And then he turns to Dimitri and says, "Now, good sir, who are you and why are you here?"
Greetings. I am Dimitri Dimitrov, descendant of Halev.
I'm sure there are many.
Here to support my companion in the quest that he was granted in his vision.
That sounds like a noble thing to try and do. Now, how about you, dwarf, he says, with a bit of a gruff way of saying dwarf.
Oh, hi, I am Bradshaw. I'm here to support my friends here in his quest and provide whatever help I can. And while I'm going through these lands, I'm seeing the difference between my dwarven ancestry and your elven ancestry.
Well, the main difference is we let things grow, he says.
Understood.
And does this elf here consider you his friend? Or is that a big ask, he says, turning to Trellen.
A big ask about what?
This dwarf here calls you his friend.
Yeah, he's party.
That is not my question. Is he considered your friend?
Yeah, he's one of my friends.
Then he is welcome.
As are the rest of the monk party.
Well, the dwarf in particular is can be considered a problem, as all dwarves are. They like to. Most dwarves like to. Go, Jeremy.
I was going to say, quite Dimitri didn't say anything about friends. He said he was going to support his companion.
Hey, the actually declaring an elf a friend and an elf declaring a dwarf a friend is a big thing in their culture.
Absolutely.
It doesn't happen very often. So
I'm happy to vouch for him.
And he says whatever he does will reflect upon you, he says.
Yeah.
He asks if you have need of anything while you're here.
Well, as I said, the vision that our companion received, as you can tell, was fairly generic in the information. Are you aware of beholders potentially threatening the life of this forest?
We do get some of those eye tyrants showing up upon occasion. One even made it to Darrakan and opened a shop.
Indeed, but that one doesn't seem to be bothering unicorns too much right now.
He does not. He is very greedy and seems to actually be a representative of a higher being, which he found unusual for an eye tyrant.
Yeah. Certainly they're not known for their subservience under general circumstances.
Yes, they generally do not serve others, that is true. Would have to be something of great power to get service from a eye tyrant.
So, but you have not had specific recent reports of such creatures marauding in the forest?
He just received word of giant birds attacking you on the highway, which again, not unusual. We get them in flocks every now and then. We also get beasts that move through the shadows, and many other horrors that are in the forests. We did have a contingent of dragonkin helping us out, but they disappeared about a year ago, he says.
Yes,
probably more about 6 months ago, he says, yeah. Closer to that.
And so I don't know that we've actually had been in a position to notice the lack of dragonkin recently, have we?
You have not, and you didn't know that there was a group of dragonborn in the forest.
No. I was going to say, oh yes, well, it seems to be missing everywhere, really, but no, we haven't actually noticed that one. So, if there's no specific eye tyrants that are aware of having, presumably, most of these creatures spread out from Thornbush, do they, or they tend to appear in other locations as well?
There are many points of bad magic, he says. None of them are good.
The closest here in Ainsworth, or perhaps the closest to a colony of unicorns?
So Thornbush is the oldest of the portals to another world. It was the first to form.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a Thornbush guard that tries to keep them in check, but even they can't keep up with the sheer numbers of horrors that come out of that location.
And would that be where the Beholder would be coming out of?
They expect it to come out of there.
That was certainly our initial thought process, but if you've got a guard on the thorn bush, I'm guessing that they haven't reported the escape of a eye tyrant recently.
So the other ones that they have are Stalkbrow and Dragon Tree. Most of those we generally don't have the same issues with, but Thornbush generally dumps monsters in the river, which end up at the Sunken Weir. But sometimes they go elsewhere.
But also possibly going via the dewdrop, which may thus threaten unicorns in that area.
Many unicorns can be found in Dewdrop and at each of the other sites of Great Magic. But unfortunately, of late, the wards we have on the forest are failing. I'm sure your clan has kept you in the loop about what's happening, he says, looking at Trellen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Demetrius said, well, I say, I am quite proficient at magic. Perhaps I can assist in the reconstruction of these wards.
Unfortunately, he says he does not believe that you'd be suited to using those rituals.
Yeah.
Because only elves can enter the space where it needs to be cast. But he thanks you for your enthusiasm in finding out their secrets.
Hey, knowledge is always worth gaining, no matter what source.
He does laugh at that, and he does say that he will grant you access to Dewdrop to see if you can find your beholder there.
Do you also can we also gain a access to Thornbush if necessary? We may be able to if we arrive at Dewdrop and find that okay, well, there does not appear to be any immediate danger.
It says,
we can...
if necessary, he could arrange access, but he cannot guarantee he can get you out of that location.
Okay.
Most people who go there don't come out.
It is merely a matter of ensuring that we don't get delayed by any of the elven forces.
Well, the elves wouldn't delay you. Most of the things there would probably eat you. Including the trees.
They might try.
We're okay. We're okay.
But obviously, yes. Dewdrop is certainly the more immediate location, because if one of the aberrant beasts have got past your patrols at Thornbush, or possibly have come from another direction, then Dewdrop would certainly seem to be the best point to protect, if necessary. So.
He does recommend that you rest the night here before heading out to Dewdrop, because travelling the forest in this region at night is not even advisable for elves.
Yeah,
because you will have to travel along the forest floor, which is the most dangerous part of the forest.
And obviously, if there's no immediate rumours of eye tyrants, then we've almost certainly got at least some hours to spare. It's appropriate to rest up and gain additional information. So.
Well, elves have a tendency to shoot at things that move at night.
Do your clan also protect access to Mystara?
We know of it, but we don't actually provide access to it to most people. That was something you'd have to ask the dragons if they were still here.
Well,
it is their...
So you're setting up a Catch-22.
It is their sanctuary. And without leave of them, it is forbidden for others to enter.
But the elves would, again, not prevent us from going in that direction if that may be also a location where the beholder may be attacking unicorns.
They will not prevent you going in that direction, but they cannot guarantee you would get any form of favourable treatment.
So, yeah. Let us enjoy the evening and head for Dewdrop in the morning.
Yes, that sounds like a great plan, he said.
Sounds like a horse.
Like I was about to say also, so, yeah, does Trellen want to get hold of another horse?
Well, I'm happy with the 50-foot movement rate.
Yep.
All good. I'm just going to stay with the party, not go anywhere else after I get shot by elves. So I'm happy.
I'm sure you wouldn't get shot too often.
Too often. Be like 20 hours in 10 seconds, I reckon. But anyway.
Yeah. So, only getting shot once by 100 elves.
Each trying to see who can grip it closer to your heart.
Well, no, each only shoots once. That's right. So,
Okay. All good. But anyway, I'm just going, just get this done. Get out of here. That's all I'm thinking of myself.
And they give you fruits, bread, and clear water to drink.
Fruit, bread, and clean water.
delicious indeed.
Does even Bruce like it? Or?
Bruce munches away on it and flicks his tail in your direction.
No. Respect, Bruce. Respect of other people, please. Please. Just one night, please.
He snickers in your direction.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to die of suffocation. Okay, gotcha. Anyway, okay. How do I find the fruit and bread? Because I'm not a... Bread I'm used to, but not the fruit bit. How do I find it as a dwarf?
As a dwarf, it is has absolutely no decent taste to it.
No nutritional needs either. Definitely not good enough. No protein. So, okay.
You munch away at it and don't feel any form of refreshment afterwards.
You're still feeling very hungry.
Grumble.
Yeah, that's your stomach talking.
That's my stomach and my grumble.
Come morning, you are greeted by Alien, who says he can lead you down to the forest floor, but he is not permitted to travel with you.
Oh, you're not coming with us for the...
Oh.
To visit Dewdrop?
It is not his task.
Oh. When shall we meet you next?
He will wait here if you return.
Okay.
If
I was wondering if now, considering we're just travelling to there, do we need? Oh, well, we need mounts to get there still, don't we? We've got a few squares to travel. So okay, cool. I'm just wondering if I should bring Bruce along or not. That's all. But I'll bring him along just for the humour. So.
Does Aeon in that case then we'll ensure that we've got good directions and map type stuff to actually reduce the chance of getting geographically embarrassed while we're heading for Dewdrop.
And they recommend that either you spend the night in Dewdrop or you return back to them before the night falls.
Oh yes, they're certainly saying yes. Don't spend the night in the forest if you can avoid it.
Yep. Don't travel at night.
And if we're not travelling with Aeon, what sort of reception can we expect in future? And who are we actually going to be meeting?
That he says you will find when you get there. Each person is different.
Are there other guardians and or inhabitants beyond the unicorns?
There are many, but again, they only appear as needed. As they protect the forest first.
And so, have they provided us with any sort of documentation or indication of the permission to travel, or?
They have not. They said that you take an elf with you. That this is part of his test.
Okay.
Traveling and entering magic points is part of coming of age of most elves, as this is his first time and he's never met one of his clan's trees. This is his test of manhood, they say.
Yeah.
And none of the other elves are permitted to interfere.
Yeah. Okay. Which is why Aelion can't come with us. Makes sense. So Aelion, aside from like the curios in his house, did he have a library?
He did. And it contained a whole bunch of books that you hadn't actually seen before, especially considering they were of scripts not even you could translate, but reminded you of your time in the Hollow World.
Dimitri will have had a pleasant evening then, working through what he could find and read.
Apparently, he has been in the Hollow World himself. And he has found a place called Candlekeep in or the Lighthouse, as it's referred to, as a repository of knowledge found in Hollow World that contains a copy of every book in existence.
And we see that.
You did not.
Well, Dimitri found it in like a diary or something, I'm guessing. We still didn't see Candlekeep while we're down there now.
And there is a specific sigil that represents those who are welcome, and it's on one of the books he has, which is his diary.
Yeah. Well, Dimitri will certainly be interested to actually copy that if he can.
We copy it.
Also then, having found that he had been in the Hollow World, if that hadn't come up previously in the discussions of his adventures, then Dimitri will also comment on his time with the quiet folk,
The gentlefolk.
Gentlefolk.
He says he knows them well.
And his experience with their elder, who, well, Dimitri now knows as Yem, but I'm pretty certain he had another name and he was actually officially talking to him. So.
He suspected he was called something else.
Well, I'm sure he introduced him, like when we first met him, he actually introduced himself as something as like Chief so-and-so.
He did, yes.
But so Dimitri will use that term rather than calling him Yen.
So that is probably about session number 4 or 5 back in the day.
Okay. It's not a name that comes immediately to mind. And so yeah.
So just so you know, it was session number 6.
There you go. Okay.
And I didn't write the.
I do apologise, but it hasn't immediately been memorised for me anymore.
And I didn't write the name down at the time. And it was on the 20th of February 2019.
Yep. So
a little while ago.
Yep. Okay. I think as a player, I've got an excuse to forget that name.
You do. He just nods.
Dimitri certainly wouldn't have. and Dimitri will talk about it in that text.
And he does talk to you about how you were probably talking to one of the keepers of the lighthouse.
That would certainly fit the context of discussions and later information that I'd heard about him, yes.
There are many who share and provide knowledge. You can find an entrance to them in the Empire of Thyatus. They have an outpost there that can take you there.
Is he talking about the tunnel / mine on? It's actually on the island, Greta. It was down near that way there, wasn't it?
There was one on the one of the Alphatian islands.
Yep.
But he was not referring to that one. And
I can't remember whether or not that was actually one that Dimitri had been involved in as to whether we'd got there.
Dimitri had been involved in that one. Dimitri had also been involved in the one in the Broken Lands. Yeah. And another character which probably told you about it found one in the Etrurian clans.
That's right, yes. Yeah, that's right, because yes, that was the one down in the Alphatian lands was what he first got there, so that when we found the Broken Lands, you say, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
But he does say that there is a outpost that will take you there without traversing the distance.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dimitri will take note of all that information and be thinking about, okay, yeah, he doesn't want to get back there, but we'll see. This lighthouse does sound interesting.
Even now, he sends stuff to them occasionally.
Okay, so obviously he spent the time to do that mechanoid hard, read and enjoy himself for the evening and the afternoon, and I'm guessing we're ready to go the next morning.
Okay, so
need mounts or anything in that sense? Is it worth getting a mount for the dwarf?
He recommends traveling on foot because mounts are more likely to get trapped between roots and branches. There is no path on the forest floor.
Okay. Dimitri's certainly happy to walk then?
It will be a difficult trail for all of you, and it will probably take you most of a day to travel 8 miles.
And it's about 8 to 12 miles to do job, I'm guessing, is it?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So it'll take you a full day's travel with the fact you can't travel forests that well. Though Trellen could be there and back in the time it takes you to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so considering it is now after 10 o'clock, I will have you arriving at Dewdrop, coming on close of the evening.
Sounds good.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
So we have a uneventful day's travel, except for lots of stumbling and tripping over roots and things.
So you reach there on the 20th day of this iteration of your loop.
Cool.
I'm sure that means a lot to you right now.
Well, okay, it means we've got plenty of time, but it is certainly worthy of note.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will thank you all for joining in tonight. You actually got to see a big chunk of how the elves really do treat things differently. In a sense, the clan treats its members as family, with the oldest clan member being the head. Not the wisest, not the strongest, not the most powerful, just the oldest.
Yep.
And they will try to treat everyone with respect, especially considering they're sure the short-lived races won't notice the slights they give them.
I'm not short-lived, by the way. Just looking.
Compared to them, you're still short-lived. You only live about half their lifespan at the best.
Because we do interesting things.
150.
Right. And to be fair, you're only living half a life anyway, because you're doing extra.
I know where you're going with that one. You can drop it right now.
It was only in halfling years.
No more short jokes, thank you.
No. I was looking from the elf perspective, not for short, but the idea that dwarves only deal with dead stuff, so they're only living half a life.
Hey, I've already died and come back, okay? So I've done more than normal dwarf done, okay?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the idea of stone and metal and things like that aren't alive from the elf perspective.
I have the questions afterwards, Martin, so I'll let you finish off, but just to make sure my character gets all good. So.
All good. So we'll finish it up there, guys, and we'll
Thank you
pick
very
this
much.
up in a
Thanks all.
fortnight, and hopefully we have some more of the other players available.
Cool.
We shall see.
Okay then.
Okay.
Good night all. Thank you very much.
Good night, all.
Bye for now.